Good afternoon, everyone. State Senator Eric Berthel coming to you from your capital in Hartford, outside of the historic Senate chamber. We have exactly 296 total hours left, including sleeping, driving back and forth, everything, before we will gavel out on midnight on May 4th. So about 12 calendar days, and realistically about maybe another 9 or 10 days that we will be up here in the Capitol debating the remaining bills for the 2022 session. Since my last update with you, we have taken up some rather contentious bills that have fallen basically on party line votes. One of those was with respect to providing unemployment insurance, unemployment benefits to unionized employees who are on strike, or to people who walk off the job who don't belong to a bargaining unit. And my debate on this was very simple. If you choose not to work, whether you go on strike or you walk off the job, you're not eligible for unemployment under the current statutes and under the Connecticut law. You have to be willing and able to work. And if you walk off a job, you are not willing and able to work. The other bill that we debated, and that the debate is going on right now behind me in the Senate chamber, is with respect to some very difficult and inappropriate restrictions that are being placed on employers and the conversations that they would be allowed to have with their employees with respect to political and religious opinions. While this does not prevent the employer from having these conversations, if this bill were to pass today and pass in the House and get down to the governor's office or up to the governor's office, an employee would be able to simply walk out of a meeting that was discussing these types of topics, political and religious. The unfairness in this comes that if an employee is part of a bargaining unit, if they're part of a union, and I have full respect for the work and the importance of unions in Connecticut, but if they belong to a bargaining unit and belong to a union, the unions are not held to the same standard. So a union can go ahead and have any meeting they want regarding political or religious activities, and they can require an employee to attend those meetings without any consequence. And I think that that's unfair. It's an unlevel playing field. Employees should be able to choose without any penalty what they want to listen to. Employers should be able to deliver messages to their employees regarding things that may be political. If there's legislation that affects a particular industry, that employer should be able to talk to their employees about that without worrying about a new law that has gone in place to prevent that from happening. And then the bill that we'll debate tomorrow, which to me is one of the most egregious that we will see thus far this session, is whether or not we will approve $1.9 billion in new spending for raises for the CBAC group, which is the organization that represents most of the unionized employees in the state of Connecticut in the government. While I fully support what CBAC tries to do for its employees and fully respect what our state employees do, the hard work they do, the hard work they've done through the COVID pandemic and prior to that, it is completely irresponsible for us to add nearly $2 billion worth of new spending, which includes $3,500 bonuses for people who will retire in July. It includes raises that are unlike anything that we're seeing in the private sector today. I understand that we have a responsibility to make sure that people have living wages in Connecticut, but this is a wage that would be provided and paid for on the backs of the taxpayers. And Connecticut is already expensive enough. We're already in a very fragile economy, despite all this great news about all these surpluses. This is not the right time to do this. I cannot support this, and we'll be voting against any attempt to increase $2 billion worth of spending in our state budget. I'll be back to you again a number of times before the end of the session. Please reach out to my office. Please continue to share your opinions and feelings about the bills that are still before us. You can follow me at www.senatorberthel.com, and of course email or call the office with your concerns. Thanks a lot. Talk to you soon.